So, I just finished watching Avengers EndGame. And I'm trying to keep a straight face to avoid giving away spoilers. I don't want people to know whether if it's a good movie or a bad movie or just an okay movie. So throughout this entire video, I'm not going to smile, I'm not going to be mad, I'm not going to be sad. Just to avoid for everyone to watch the movie and without spoilers. Who am I kidding? I saw Avengers EndGame. It was awesome! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready, set, go. Avengers EndGame finally here. I went ahead and watched it along with some of my friends and my family. You know, great, awesome experience. You know, it's everything that I always imagined it to be. Even though some of my theories didn't come true in the movie, but it came out even more better. It was complete perfection. I had an amazing time. Joe and Anthony Russo being the directors ever since The Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and now we're having Endgame. And from what I'm hearing, that they're not going to be coming back anytime soon unless if they're doing any story relation to Secret Wars that's having to deal with the Skrulls taking over Earth, you know, secretly hiding other people's bodies. So that's gonna be phenomenal. If that were to take place, I would love to see Joe and Anthony Russo come back and do whatever they can to develop that sort of storyline. So, but when it comes to Avengers Endgame, this movie takes place exactly 23 days after the events that happened in Infinity War. And everything was great. Everything that we got from the marketings and having to assume as to what this movie's going to give us, never even thought of it. And I'm not going to spoil any of that because at the ending of this video, there's something that I do want to spoil, and that's for all those out there who went ahead and watched the Avengers Endgame movie and want to talk about it, because there's an in particular sequence in the movie that I cannot avoid. I have to talk about it, so catch that at the ending of this video. But for right now, this is a non-spoilers review, and then once when I have my spoiler icon up, then you guys can avoid this review if you haven't watched Endgame just yet. So, like I said, everything that we speculated into, assuming as to what this movie had in store for us, some of it was true, some of it was not, and I really do admire the fact that all the good stuff in there, you know, it was really amazing. I really did enjoy it. And you know, and within you know, this whole entire movie does deal with, I'm gonna say this, and it doesn't spoil it because it's already out there. This movie does involve time travel, and I love time travel, and I really do admire the fact that the Avengers, they go back in time to collect these Infinity Stones, and from many different events that took place within the entire MCU universe, getting some really great cameos from a lot of the cast that are no longer with us, that are you know, making their dramatic returns. You know, it's just fantastic. Robert Redford, Natalie Portman, Renee Russo, you know, all of them are so fantastic having to coming back. Frank Grillo. Oh man, I don't know. It was just great. I had a great time watching this movie, and I love the fact that, you know, we finally get Professor Hulk in this. Professor Hulk he's very funny. I really liked him in the movie. And Captain Marvel, she looks very different compared to what we know from what we saw at the mid-credit scene and in her solo film a couple of months back. And then getting Thor. I'm not gonna spoil this, but Thor is a completely different character, you know, emotionally, physically, so on and so forth. And you know, and I find that it was a little bit disturbing at first, but also a throw out to all the female audiences, you know, because they're all like, oh my god, and then this one, it's like, what? So I found that to be very humorous. But But you know, Iron Man's story is fantastic. Captain America's story is fantastic. All these Avengers, you know, Hawkeye, especially Hawkeye, being Ronin now in this movie, you know, you really do feel a good connection between him between you and him. So, Jeremy Renner, fantastic actor in this movie. I mean, most people are never really favorable towards his character in these movies, but this one he really stood out, and it was a great experience. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he has in store for us in the TV show that's going to come out on Disney Play very soon, especially getting Wanda and Vision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, so on and so forth. I mean, it's all going to be phenomenal. Now, that's it for my non-spoilers review. Now I'm going to talk about the spoilers review. So for any of you guys that have not watched Avengers EndGame just yet, stop this video. Whenever you have the available time, go check it out at your nearest theater, and then come back over here, watch what I have to say, and then we can go ahead and get her going with this fantastic review. The final fight. Oh my God, man! You got, you know, as soon as the Avengers, they succeed in their mission, you know, having to go back in time, collect all these Infinity Stones, and snap their fingers, and bringing everybody back that was a victim to the snap. Right away, Thanos from 2014 comes in, explodes the entire Avengers mansion, and you know, the Avengers, they're all, you know, scattered within the destruction, and you know, you got Thanos right there. You know, he's coming out, he's beamed down, and you know, he just sits there. He's just waiting for whoever that's gonna come and approach him and fight him. You know, he's just waiting to have those Infinity Stones in his grasp once more again. And I mean, it's just so amazing when you get to see the original trinity of the Avengers team: Captain America, Iron Man, Thor. They just approach him and they're ready for battle. I love that Thor has both his hammer and Stormbreaker with him, and you know, they go and fight up against him. You know, Ronin, Hawkeye, he's down in the very bottom of the destruction. He has the Infinity Gauntlet with him with the stones, and he's being chased by some of Thanos' soldiers, and he's just running. You know, it's pretty much just you know, tag and catch type of game. You know, it kind of reminded me a little bit of, you know, like Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. You know, you got the chest with the Davy Jones's heart inside it, and you know, you're just trying to play tag. You know, I got it, no, I got it, no, I got it, I got it. You know, I love that. I really did, and that's one of the things I actually really did love about that Pirates movie is, you know, just tag team things, and that's what they did with this one too. Just trying to keep that gauntlet away from Thanos, making sure that he does not snap his fingers once more again. So because they succeeded, and they don't really have any idea as to whether or not they are capable of having to reversing that once more again. So you know, Thanos, he beats down Thor, he beats down Iron Man, and as soon as Thanos is about to kill Thor, you just see Thor's hammer just there, laying there, and is getting picked up. And who's picking it up? None other than the other man who's worthy himself, who is fully capable of having to moving that hammer other than Thor, is Captain America himself. And I love that how Thor, he's just like, I knew it, you know, and it's just from what we remember in the Age of Ultron. And I love that. I really did love it. And he's just swinging that thing, and you know, because Thanos, he destroyed half of Captain America's shield, and that just proves how strong he is. He is stronger than the metal of Captain America's shield. Vibranium. And just having to swing in that hammer, just getting to beat up with Thanos. And I mean, even though it is so super awesome seeing Captain America beat up Thanos, and just getting to see that, you know, they're close to winning, but no, Thanos, he's still strong enough. He beats Captain America down, and Captain America, he's tired, he's exhausted, but yet he's still full of that energy. You know, he's like, you know, he's still the same guy who says, I could do this all day. So, and that's pretty much what he's doing. You know, he doesn't care. He's gonna fight to his very last breath. And I don't know, it was just fantastic. He just stands up, he tightens up his shield, he's ready for round two, and you know, Thanos and his army. They come down, and you know they're all over the place. They're this big, massive army. I mean, it's just as big as like how the final fight to the Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King. When they go to Mordor, you got the good guys here. This a small amount. You get this big amount of bad guys just approaching the good guys. And I don't know. It was phenomenal just seeing that whole army against Captain America. And what happened next? To me, I expected it, but having to experience this movie live in person, just watching it, I completely forgot that this was going to happen, and it happened when you least expected it. All of a sudden, Captain America gets this little radio voice in his helmet, and he's like, "Who's that?" And he's like, "Cap, do you hear me? It's Falcon." We're like, "What, Falcon?" And what does he say? Oh man, I knew he was gonna throw this back at him one of these days. I knew it. He says, "Look to your left." Oh my God, that was in reference to the Winter Soldier, the very beginning of it. Jogging around the Washington Stadium. Oh my gosh, man, that was so phenomenal. I knew he was gonna throw that back at him. And then what do you see right next to him? You see Doctor Strange's portal opening, and who walks through it? You see Wakanda, and then you see Black Panther with Shuri and Okoye, and it's just a simple quick nod saying, "Yep, we're back." So that's awesome. And then you see another portal opening. You got Doctor Strange, Drax, Mantis, Star-Lord. Everybody started screaming when they saw Star-Lord and Spider-Man. I'm like, excuse me. It was a phenomenal moment. And then you just see many other portals started opening, and Captain America he turns around, he's just watching all this happening, and it's just like, what? You see Falcon, and then you see the Winter Soldier, Groot, Valkyrie, Korg, Meek, Scarlet Witch, Wong, the Wasp. When the Wasp came out, I was excited. I was excited to see her coming back, because I actually did like her in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Just getting to see her return, fantastic. And all the other wizards from Doctor Strange, Ravengers from Guardians of the Galaxy, they were here too. Even Pepper Potts in her rescue armor came out, fantastic. We got Asgardians, and let's see who else. We had Falcon, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America. Then out of the destruction of the Avengers Mansion, you get Giant Man coming out. Ant-Man turning into Giant Man, saving Professor Hulk, War Machine, and Rocket. They're there too. I mean, it's just, you see it, and then you see all these portals just opening up. I mean, it's just a fantastic experience. You see all these big ships coming out, and all these armies coming out. I mean, it was just phenomenal. You got all of Wakanda, and I mean, wow, it was mind blown. I mean, you got this epic Avengers music coming out, and you just see all these good guys on one side, then you see all the bad guys on the other side, and then you see all the main heroes up front. Just see every single one of them, and then it just comes up to a Captain America, and he finally said, and I knew he was gonna say, and he finally said it: "Avengers, assemble!" And bam, you can hear a whole lot of shouting. Armies are rushing towards each other, clashing against one another. Oh my God, this was so awesome. I mean, wow. When that happened, I was easily astonished. I mean, I'm just like, wow. In a sense, you kind of expected for this to happen, but then when you watch the movie, it pulls you right on into where everything that you speculated, you theorized, you assumed that was going to be a part of this movie, completely blanketed your mind away from everything, and just enjoyed and experienced the movie, and everything that happened unexpectedly, and it was perfect, phenomenal. It's such an amazing experience, just getting to know, out of all 22 of these movies, every single individual character that we've gotten to know and love within these last 10 to 11 years, all together for the very first time as this one gigantic army. And it was mind-blowing. It was, oh God, I can't get enough. I can't stop talking about it. To be honest with you, I am going to be watching this movie so many times. I watched Infinity War 4 times last year. I want to watch EndGame more than that, for sure. while this battle is going on, like I said, the whole thing is a tag team type of sequence. You got one hero having the Infinity Gauntlet, you have the other hero having a hold of the Infinity Gauntlet. I think it was Ronan that had it first, and then they're trying to get it to go back into the time machine to take all those Infinity Stones back to where they originally got them, so that way they don't have this time paradox, having different realities of darker realms popping up and so on and so forth, according to what Tilda Swinton's characters told Hulk while they were back in time. So they were doing all that. They were just like, this is our mission. We need to get this Infinity Gauntlet back, all these stones into the time machine, back to their own places, and before Thanos gets it. And so that's what they're doing. They're just trying to get it over there. Ronan had it first, and Spider-Man had it, and then it was Ronan, and then it went to Black Panther, and then it went to Spider-Man, and then he went to kill. Was it instant kill mode? I love that. He just started killing all these of Thanos' army, and it wasn't enough though. He kept getting crumbled in. They kept closing him in, and Captain America throws his hammer. Now it's his hammer. He throws a hammer. Spider-Man grabs a hold of it with his web, and he swings on out, and then he's holding on. And who comes into the battle? Oh yeah, that's right, Captain Marvel. Oh man, she came in. The ships, they moved their blasters up, and they started shooting. They're like, wondering, what's that? Why are they firing up there? Somebody entered the atmosphere. Captain Marvel. Wow, that was that was so cool. So Captain Marvel, she has the Infinity Gauntlet, and she's trying to get it to point it from point A to point B. And I love it how Spider-Man, he's like, I don't know how you're gonna get it over there with all that those bad guys over there. And she's like, I'm sure we got it covered. And all the women that we've known that are superheroes within all these other films all come in. I mean, you got, of course, what was it? The Rescue Armor, Pepper Potts, and then we've got the Wasp came in, Valkyrie, the Scarlet Witch, Okoye, Shuri, Mantis, Nebula, Gamora. They were all there, and it was a great sequence. I actually love that. I really did. I love the fact that, wow, that's right. We keep on saying that Captain Marvel is the first female-led superhero movie, but the thing is, look at all these different women, excluding Black Widow. But all of them here, and it's just like, wow, this is so awesome. It's great having to see this, and and I love how Captain Marvel, she just zooms right on through everything, trying to get from point A to point B to the van that has the other time machine. And Thanos, he got her. They're clashing against each other. I love how he head bops her, and she's just like, that doesn't faze me. Like, I'm stronger than you. But no, Thanos grabs the Power Stone from the gauntlet, and he uses that to punch Captain Marvel aside. So that at least we know for a fact that that's how he beats Captain Marvel. And so earlier on, Iron Man, now let's talk about Iron Man, okay? Because Iron Man in this battle is, wow. I mean, he fights alongside with his wife, Pepper Potts, in the Rescue Armor. I love that. And then when he reunites with Peter Parker, Spider-Man, oh my God, you remember in Spider-Man Homecoming when he's leaning in to give Peter, assumably Peter thinks that he's giving him a hug, but he's actually opening the door for him. It was so great. I love it how they reference that even into this sequence too. Iron Man actually gives Spider-Man a hug because he felt so regretful having to pulling him in and failing him and just having to bring him back. He's so happy to bring him back. He's like a son to him, and I don't know. It was a phenomenal moment, and I really did love that. And so, but later on when Captain Marvel gets beat up by Thanos, Iron Man confronts Doctor Strange, and he says, okay, you saw 14 million outcomes, and only one of them we win. Is this it? And Doctor Strange is like, if I tell you, it won't come true. And he's like, well, you better be right. So when Captain Marvel got beat down by Thanos, Iron Man, he sees that Thanos took off the stone from the gauntlet, and he's like, that's it. And he looks at Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange does this. As soon as he said that, I love that, and I'm just like, Oh my God, man! Ever since when we saw Doctor Strange just going cuckoo, watching all these 14 million different outcomes as to what their future is going to be for them, and having to know that there's only one where they win. I love that he did that. That just one with his index finger, just one, and there it is. There it is. Iron Man knew it. Iron Man knew what he had to do. So he goes, he rushes in against Thanos, and you would think that he's trying to pull the gauntlet off. But no, he loses against Thanos on that. But the thing is, as soon as Thanos was ready to snap his fingers, he says, "I am inevitable." And he snaps his fingers, but you would think that we lost again. But no, he turns the gauntlet around, and the Infinity Stones are gone. And who has the Infinity Stones now? Oh yeah, Iron Man has them now. So he has them on his Iron Man suit, on his forearm, and he's just closing his fist, and he's just like, "I am Iron Man." He snaps his fingers, and oh my God, this was great. This was great. You just see one of those dragon things coming down and about to attack some of the soldiers, and it just turns to dust. And I'm just like, whoa. This was phenomenal. I love this. You see all the bad guys, even some of Thanos' children get turned into dust, and you just see all of them all going to dust. And I'm like, and we're seeing Thanos. He's watching the whole thing, and he just sits down, and he just, he's convinced he's lost, and he just sits down. And you would think, okay, is he gonna get dusted or not? And he just sits there, and then just a few seconds later, yeah, he turns to dust. This is a little bit like Voldemort from the Harry Potter movies. I loved it. I really did love it. I was kind of thinking that, okay, are they going to keep him alive? Like how they, sometimes they do that to the main villain. You kill everybody, but yet they keep the main guy alive to learn his lesson or something like that. But no, they killed him. They killed him. He's turned to dust. He's done. He's gone. So that was great. I loved it. And that concludes the battle. But the thing is that Tony Stark is only a regular man, and once he snapped his fingers, those Infinity Stones, all of it, it did not destroy just his whole entire arm. It destroyed his whole entire body. He was dying. He was done. No normal human being like Tony Stark can comprehend the power of the Infinity Stones, but he did what he could just so that they could win this battle and finally defeat the bad guys, the people that he has been having nightmares about ever since the attack in New York, the Chitauri attacking in the Battle of New York in the first Avengers movie. Ever since that was like, what, 6-7 years ago, and just getting to witness, Tony Stark from the very beginning, that we remember him in his first film, having to go through that journey all through these 22 movies, leading on to this very epic conclusion to where he defeats this nightmare that's been affecting him and kills himself in the mix. That's a wonderful, perfect, beautiful ending to this great idealistic hero. Because remember, in the very beginning, we didn't even know who Iron Man was. We did get several hints as to whether who this character was, but he became so popular, it's very knowable when this first movie first came out back in May 2008, and it has become a very favorable hero ever since then. And I really do love how, in which senses they say goodbyes to Tony Stark, with War Machine there just giving them a look and a nod, and then Spider-Man coming in, he's just crying, he's telling them, Mr. Stark, we won, everything's okay. But then Pepper Potts, she comes in, she gently pushes aside Spider-Man, and she gives him a very proper, calm farewell, telling him that, it's gonna be okay. We're all okay. You can rest now. And that brought tears to my eyes. Why? Because Tony Stark has been, everybody's been getting after him because of what happened with Ultron and then what happened with Civil War. He tried to do whatever he could just to keep this Avengers team together against the common thread, which was of course Thanos. He wanted to build a suit of armor around the world, in which case, of course, he failed the first time, having to develop Ultron, and then he failed again, having to sign the Sokovian Accords, separating the Avengers apart. And now it's come to where, we do have our suit of armor. Tony Stark didn't have to build anything. He already built something, which was this entire universe of superheroes. They're ready to protect the Earth, and Tony Stark, he didn't have to. His job was done. It was done. It was a lot better than the ending to Batman for the Dark Knight movies, Dark Knight Rises. It was a much more better ending than that. And don't get me wrong, I actually love that ending, but I think that this one was a phenomenal moment. It was so fantastic, so great. So I'm really happy that they captured it very, very well. You know, Captain America and Thor were there too. They were just seeing that, you know, this is our friend, this is our team member, this is our brother, and he died to save all of us. So great moment. Great. Quite normally, I really don't like endings where after when the whole big battle's over with and the bad guy dies, then the movie comes to a complete end. I don't like those. But unfortunately, when it comes to this one, thank goodness that they had an aftermath story that took place immediately after all the events that happened after the final battle. So Tony getting his funeral, everybody from the MCU is present there, including even Nick Fury, Captain Marvel, Maria Hill, you know, even the kid from Iron Man 3 is there. It was a great, spectacular moment just getting to seeing everybody there. You know, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer's, Janet Van Dyne was there too. So it was great just getting to seeing all of them there. And you know, even Peter Quill in the Guardians of the Galaxy was there. So I mean, wow, that was huge. And I really do admire the fact that, you know, Thor, he moves on. He doesn't become the king of Asgard. He moves on with the Guardians, going on their next big adventure. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for that, including having to know that Gamora is alive, but it's 2014's Gamora, and I very much am excited to seeing how much that's going to take a big toll on Guardians Volume 3. So, and then also Captain America going back in time to returning the Infinity Stones and Thor's hammer, Mjolnir, and you know, he disappears. He doesn't come back. We see an old man over by the shore. It's old Captain America. He passes the shield over onto Falcon, becoming the next Captain America, which is of course in the comic books. And you see that he has a wedding ring on his finger. And of course, he moved on. He lived a life. He went home, which is great. He had this happy ending. He got to live his life with Peggy Carter, and I almost did assume that he was going to end up being with Agent 13, but I don't think that was ever going to happen. So I think that Captain America ended right where he was supposed to, which is back in the 40s where he belonged. Having to being with Peggy Carter, having that first dance with each other. So I thought that was a really great moment, having to ending this series of movies. And then of course the end. We don't have any end credits in this, but I really do love on how the credits were. You know, they always do this every time when you end a certain saga of films. You know, like Harry Potter, Twilight, Lord of the Rings, so on and so forth, the Hunger Games, things like that. And you know, they did the same thing with this here. You know, you get to see every single character that you've known throughout every single of these 22 movies, and including the cameos as well. I mean, and then at the ending, you get the original 6 Avengers teams that had a very special occasion for them, getting their signatures on there along with their names. It was just a phenomenal sequence, and I really did admire that. So, but like I said, no end credits scenes for this, and it was a great closing. I think the end credits were just because it was within these 22 set of films, and since this movie is very much closing this entire saga and reopening another one, they wanted to go ahead and say, you know what, we're going to go ahead and leave that for, you know, their own story. You know, this is only its own one story. The 22 movie, one story. So it was great. I mean, phenomenal. I mean, I can't get enough of it, and I'm gonna probably go and watch it, you know, 4 or 6 more times. So probably even more than that. It was that good. Rotten Tomatoes gave this movie a 96%, but for me, the thing is that I'm going to admit that there were several moments in the movie that I felt was a little bit too stretched out, and for me, it was a little bit, I had a little bit of some boring moments. I mean, people are going to hate me for saying this, but there were some boring moments in there for me. I enjoyed the movie through and through from beginning to end, don't get me wrong, but there was some moments in the movie that really kind of, you know, was a little bit too stretched out. So for me, since I said Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 96, I'm going to go ahead and, you know, like it around the same area by giving it a 98%, you know. I'm sorry, but that's, I wish I could give it a complete 100%, but the thing is that 98% is huge. So there you have it, you guys. That's my review for Avengers EndGame. What did you guys think? Did you guys go watch the movie just yet? Let me know what you guys thought about the movie. Comment in the section at the bottom. That way we can have an awesome time talking about this movie, because I love to talk about movies, but more importantly, I love to talk about them with you. And don't forget, you can check out some more movie reviews, trailer reviews, video commentaries on both my Facebook and YouTube pages. Just look me up at Awesome Joe Movie Reviews, and don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, so on and so forth. Anything that you can do, support the channel, because it's highly appreciated that you guys taking the time of your day to help me out with that. So keep on living the dream, you guys, and as always, stay awesome. Thank you guys so much once more again, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.